Welcome in for our first edition of the Oglethorpe Outlook for 2024 on the SDH Network. I'm Jason Longshore, and this is our coverage of Oglethorpe University Stormy Petrels soccer, both the men's team and the women's team. And the seasons start this weekend for both. Conference play a little bit down the road in the Southern Athletic Association, but non-conference play begins this weekend for both teams. The women will be at home in Brookhaven on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. The men are playing in the Sonny Carter Invitational over at Emory on Sunday and on Monday. Monday, they will face their rivals, Emory, in the first of two matchups this season between the two D3 powers. We will be on site at Emory for pre-match and post-match coverage on the SDH Network. But this edition of the Oglethorpe Outlook will get you ready for the season for both teams. Madison Cruz will be on the call on Sunday for the Oglethorpe Stormy Petrels women's match. And Maddie has you set up for the next segment here on the Outlook. Maddie, take it away.
Now, last season, the Oglethorpe men's soccer team went all the way to the national tournament, weren't able to take home the trophy, but that's their goal this season, to go all the way and bring it back here to Oglethorpe University. Now, we had the opportunity to catch up with Nicolas Sciarra and Ethan Nunes a little bit on Media Day, so here's that conversation with me, Jason Longshore, and the team.
All right, perfect. First question, just coming off of your last season, going into this one, what were some of the biggest things y'all learned last season and trying to implement it into this one?
I would say probably team culture. We all know what we want now for sure. It was a new team, a lot of new players last year. We all were kind of playing, but we're all kind of not on the same page. But this year, for sure, with our new squad members and stuff, we are all on the same page, and we all know what we want, and we're going to Las Vegas. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So can't wait for that.
What has it been like to really develop and form that culture and that chemistry between all of you guys?
It's been difficult, honestly. At first, it was a little bit of a challenge, but throughout, time it builds everything. So we have been able to create all these great relationships. We have great chemistry on our team, and so a lot of guys have been here for several years, and that it's a great experience. So we're gonna have a very strong team culture, and we're all very close. We do a lot of things outside of the soccer field together, and that really builds us together.
What are some of the things that you guys do? What are they activities? Are they just different hobbies? What do y'all do?
We went to the pool.
We like to go to the pool. We do some cookouts. Whether it's
Went to that grill place last year, the Mexican grill
we
place.
go to Brazilian steakhouses, places in
Yes.
Atlanta, just activities. On City Market, just doing activities together really brings us together as a team.
Sure.
For people who might not know about Oglethorpe and the way you guys play, what would you describe the playing style?
So I would say we like to keep the ball. We like playing out of the back. We like to play our style and make them kind of force. They have to learn how we play, not the other way around. You play to us. And I appreciate how Coach Akin always tells us make sure it's our game, it's how we play, coming out of the back, making sure everyone's safe, secure, and obviously on defense, very secure and smart and quick play. I don't know if you want to add on to that.
Having been here 4 years, I've noticed that Aiken trusts his players. He trusts us no matter the personnel, no matter the quality. He trusts us to play to his style, and because he believes in his style of football, and no matter what, we stick to that style, and it's going to be successful for us this season.
My last question for y'all: is there a specific match you guys are circling on your calendar this season? Anyone in particular that sticks out to you guys?
For me, Emory at home. So I think that is sort of in the middle of our season. I assume that we will both be ramping up for that game, and it should be an absolute war.
Yeah. As a transfer, our last game here, we tied, so we're still 0-0 with me. So I want to win. I want to leave with a win. That's for sure.
I want to ask you guys the culture y'all talked about and the off the field stuff. How does that help you on the field with the way that you guys play?
It helps us learn our habits, learn the way to deal with certain individuals. We all have different attitudes and personalities, and I feel like when you learn your teammates' habits and personalities, their ins and outs, their patterns of behavior, you can really start to understand what level of how they need to be addressed, if that makes sense, on the field, and then that can translate to in the locker room, on the field, on an away trip. Everyone's different, and learning people's habits and personalities off the field can help translate on the field.
when you think back to 2023, which was a really good year for the program, what needs to be better in 24 for you guys to achieve your goals?
I think attitude. It was really well, but we just need to make sure we keep the same energy, or at least the same principles, like showing up to practice on time, making sure you're there on time, the waters are filled up, and that if you're on the bench, you're on the bench, but you're going to be on the field at some point. And when you're on the field, you got to show why you're on the team. This year is not about yourself and, oh, it's my last year. No, this is about us winning trophies and getting to the top. So I think that's the main thing, attitude and making sure everyone's on the same page.
I think the little things mean more than anything.
They go a long way.
I think the little things really go a long way. They go unnoticed, but it's like you said, showing up, 5 minutes early instead of 2 minutes early. It's those type of things where it makes your team national champion.
Yeah.
Next up on the Oglethorpe Outlook, me and Jason had the opportunity to catch up with 2023's All-American Ben Alram, as well as newcomer to the team in Steven Johnson-Fikula, a little bit about the upcoming season and their relationship coming into the 2024 season. Here's that conversation.
All right, looking back at last season and coming into this one, what are some of the biggest takeaways for you and coming into it and trying to establish that again in the 2024 season?
For me, I mean, if you compare like the two seasons and the two like beginning of the season, it's like very different. You have so many new faces, so many new guys came on the team, new staff as well, new coach. Big difference, but no, actually for me. Actually, that's my last fall, so that's very more exciting than last one. But yeah, like just a lot of new faces, different new people, new mentality, new culture for the guys. No, that's actually nice, yeah.
What has it been like having some of those new guys come in and make a difference, and also just getting to know everyone?
I mean, yeah, for me, it's been great. Obviously, coming in as a fresh face, mingling and rubbing shoulders with the new guys has been great. Seeing the type of quality that we're gonna have going into the new season, it's something to be very, very, very excited about. We have guys coming from all different levels, but the thing that is the most important is that everybody's coming with the right mentality and the mentality to win. And considering the success that the boys had last season, this one is one that I think people should be looking very much forward to, because I think Ben would agree, the squad has gotten a lot stronger, and with the success, like I said, they had last year, they were only looking to try and improve and add on to that, which they have done. So, yeah, the new guys, we've all come in with the right mindset to win and to achieve a lot for the school. So, yeah, it's very, very, very exciting, and we're all looking forward to it.
Well, I'll ask as well, what drew you to Oglethorpe in the first place, and what made you choose to come here?
Besides this guy over here to my left, like I mentioned before, the success the team had last season was something that was extremely attractive to me. It's not every single day you come across a squad that's very deep in talent as this one is right now, and just the chance and the possibility of doing something historical for the program is one that I very much so want to be a part of. Coach Akin has been great, the entire staff has been great, and the boys have been great. So I feel like the program and the success, it sells itself. And yeah, for me, when Ben came forward with the idea and the project that they had in mind, it's one that I couldn't turn down, especially going into my last season. It's very important for me to finish with a bang, to try and make a run and win the national championship. And I feel like at Oglethorpe, I have the best possible opportunity of doing that. So for me, coming here was a no-brainer.
Then what were those conversations like? You tried to convince him to come over here.
No, actually, like the things that help a lot him to come here is like that's a story of us. Like we start to play soccer in USA together. We have one more for left together. So yeah, I was just speaking with him and he said he was going to another school. I said no. Like, I won't play my last fall with you. You're available. So yeah, I convinced him like that. I think that was a pretty good way to go, you know. But after, yeah, I tell him about like all the program, all the new players that we have. Yeah, and with Nalena as well, that's a nice city.
The way he describes it as everything happens for a reason.
Exactly, like that was the beginning of like the
We
conversation. Yeah.
we both started together, and I feel to end the story, it's only right that we finish off together, you know. And if we can finish up with
With a ring or something, you know what I'm saying?
with a ring and some titles under our belt, then that's gonna be a great farewell also for our time
Yeah.
in the USA. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a dream. Yeah, like that was like first time when you come in USA, you want to go back home with a ring, you know, and 3 years without one. So last year, yeah, we have to.
Then when you were selling him on coming to the program, how did you describe the way that Oglethorpe plays?
Right now,
Yeah.
I mean, better every year. I must say, like right now, like I mean, for this year we didn't play a lot together yet, you know, but last year that was more direct. I must say, like we was trying to find like the player on top. We didn't have the ball a lot last year. We was doing like a lot of counter attack and uh, everything like that. But next fall, that will be. I feel like we can keep the ball more. We have player for that. We have a lot of like different type of player. We have a lot of option as well. We can have like a lot of like positioning on the field, like all that. So it will be interesting to know how the coach will play with the player, you know, on the field. So yeah.
Steven, what's the best part about Ben's game?
Oh, you've asked me a brilliant question. I don't know if I should say it to make his head bigger or.
No. I stay humble, you know.
I mean, it speaks for itself with the All-American season that he had last year. The best part for me about Ben's game is his ability to make things happen. You know, he's got good left and right foot, both footed, and I've not seen many people who can strike the ball like he can strike it. Like we saw with the free kicks that he scored, and you know all the goals from outside of the box.
That was it, right?
Yeah, right here exactly. There's not many players you can come across today that have got that type of ability, but obviously my boy here can make such things happen. So I'd say yeah, his technical ability is very very much so up there. So yeah.
All right, Ben, and what's Steven bringing to the squad?
The center back, the very English center back type of player, you know, but one plays soccer, you know, like Steven is like love has the ball with him, play a little touch with the number 6 or number 8 front of him. He love cut the line. I mean, pretty tall for, you know, like center back, like lefty. Especially for me, I play on the right side, so I'm looking for him to send me some long ball, you know. But yeah, Steven, you always see this year. That's Steven. That's it.
I like that, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
I don't want to say a lot, you know. Like I want people to watch you on the TV
Appreciate that,
and
bro.
everything like that, you know.
Oglethorpe has been very lucky to have consistency at the head coaching position. Jon Akin's been here for 20 plus years, and we've had him on the SDH network many times over the last few years. Madison and I had the chance to catch up with Jon and talk about his coaching philosophy in detail, some of the mentors and lessons he's learned along the way, and what his expectations are for this 2024 Stormy Petrel squad. Here's our conversation.
My first question, looking back at last season and coming into this one, what needs to stay the same in order to keep that same momentum coming into this one?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot to build off. A lot of the core players are back. We did lose some key pieces, but I think with the framework, I don't think we have to work as much on playing style. I think it's more about learning the players' tendencies with so many new players, and then applying that to the frameworks in place. So, as much as it was disappointing to end the way we did, I think that could be a stimulus for, even more desire to achieve with so many players in their final year. Backs against the wall, got to get it done this year, or they aren't going to get it done themselves.
You have a lot of returners, but you also have a lot of new faces. What do those new faces bring to this squad?
Experience. Funny enough, we have several Division I transfers, some Division III transfers that were first team all region, NCAA experience on their own. We have 4 incoming team captains from different programs. So not only senior leadership, but quality senior leadership and guys that were leaders in their own program, and they're going to bring that to our program with a lot of returners. So hopefully it's just a little bit of guidance from me and letting them lead the way, because I think all the best teams are usually player-led with guidance from the management.
How important is it to have so many players who step up and get into those leadership roles and really establishing what the culture is here at Oglethorpe?
It's interesting. The college landscape's changing quite a bit with the NCAA portal and the way the NCAA landscape is changing. I think anytime I've had some great teams, I've had a lot of very good teams. The great teams always have exceptional senior or upper class leadership, and sometimes it's natural, and you kind of grow with 4 or 5 freshmen that kind of grow into those roles. And then sometimes you kind of pick people off and they kind of come into your program and wrap up with you. And that's kind of the makeup of our DNA this year. So a lot of players have played with us for a while, but we have a lot of other players that have championship caliber experience and mentality. And I think that's just going to make us so deep as a team. I think that's what it really takes to make deep runs in the NCAA tournament.
With the way that you want your teams to play, how important is that culture to achieve it?
I think the players, and just through the recruiting process with several of them, and obviously seeing video and seeing some of them up close and watching game clips, they have what we look for already. And I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised as how committed we are to that in all circumstances. And I think that's going to be a breath of fresh air for them. And I think I think they're going to be able to maybe even take it up their own level up a notch, given that support from the staff, and then again competing again. There's some team captains and transfers that were 4-year starters, that 3-year starters, 2-year starters. They're going to be competing for a starting job on this team. I mean, that's how deep we are right now. I would say, backs against the wall last year, we were NCAA caliber, 14 or 15 deep, and I'd say we're 19, 20, 21 deep. Guys that are competing for starting spots, and that's exciting.
Is that overall level of depth maybe one of the things that has changed the most over your time here at Oglethorpe?
I think so. I think this is probably the deepest team I've ever had, truly, in those competition spots. I mean, everybody's always able to compete and earn that right, but there are several positions where I don't know if the starting returning starter will start, or if it's the guy who was starting at his last school, and that's fun. That's a great problem to have.
With your career here at Oglethorpe, you came in pretty soon after being a player. When you think back to the coaches you had, who rubbed off on you the most? Was there a lesson that sticks with you today from one of your previous coaches?
Yeah, that's what a deep question. So many great influential coaches I've had over the years. In my younger years, my college coach, probably from a mentor standpoint and what it means to be in charge of young men at that age. From a soccer standpoint, probably the best defensive coach that I've had is Chris Ramsey, who spent a long time in the Premier League. And then Alan Dix, some nuanced, another Charleston Battery coach of mine who had some very nuanced approaches to small technical aspects of the game. And then, I think I've always had an identity about playing a certain way and admiring coaches from afar. And I think I've applied those experiences into my dream of what my team would look like. And I think that's been great. So yeah, that's one instance. There's just too many to come across. I mean, I think from a human standpoint, that applies very much to the field. Alan Dix once said, the only person you can control is yourself. And it's easy to worry about 10 other positions, but if we have 7 or 8 or 9 guys that win those individual battles because they're fully focused on themselves and what they can bring to the table, you're usually going to win most matches. And I like to pass that story along to our group, and it resonates.
Last one from me. When you think about what is the potential of this team, how important is it for you to get there with the kind of soccer that you believe in, the way that you want this team to play, and staying true to that?
I like to say that I'm an and kind of coach. I love to win and play at a high level, and I like to do it our way. If I had the opportunity to pick and choose moving along for a one-off game, based on a certain scenario, yeah, we could, I'd move away from a philosophy and a commitment to earn the right to go further than the program's gone before, because the program's bigger than me. And all the players that are there, we deserve that right to move on. We've had good enough teams to go on, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Maybe we might have to, we'll call them small tweaks or adjustments. But I would like to play at a high level, continue to win championships and win games, and do it the Oglethorpe way.
Hi, my name is Harlow. This is the Oglethorpe Outlook season preview.
Well, as Harlow already introduced, welcome to the Oglethorpe Outlook. I am here with Harlow and Mackenzie, and we're going to get ready for the 2024 season for the Oglethorpe women's soccer. So I'll ask both of you guys, looking back at 2023, moving forward into this new season, what are some of the things you guys are going to take away, and what are you expecting for in this season?
I think we have a lot of great and high potential returning players to start off, and then we also have a very big squad that we have coming in. So I think if we take what we had in the past, the returning players, and mix it in with the new players, I think we can come up with a really good season this year.
Yeah, I completely agree. We have a really strong squad this year, and I feel like we're going to do a lot better than we did last year. But yeah.
Well, let's talk about the new squad. Having some of those returners and then having some of the newcomers, what has it been like really forming that team chemistry and getting to know each other a little bit better?
It's been really good. We go to the cabins every year, and that's a really good team bonding. But yeah, we have a lot of fun together, and we are all really close already. So.
Yeah, I feel like as returners and like upperclassmen, we try to make sure that the newcomers, transfers, or freshmen are as comfortable as they can be and have a good time before we get into the nit and gritty of the season when it gets pretty hard and emotional. So I feel like we just try to make everybody comfortable, happy with each other first off the field so we can transfer it to on the field.
So I'll ask a little bit, because for people who might not know a little bit about Oglethorpe women's soccer, what would you describe your playing style to be like?
How would I describe our playing style? We're all really determined and really hardworking, and we fight until the very end. And we all are friends off the field and on the field, and yeah, we just fight really hard for each other.
Yeah, I agree completely with her, and then it also just turns it into us playing more quick on the field, which is something that we're learning now and trying to kind of change into, if that makes sense. But yeah, more of a quick, fast pace, and I think we have that level and potential to do so.
All right, my last question for both of you guys. Looking at this upcoming season, is there a specific game or opponent that you guys have circled on the calendar that y'all are looking forward to?
Looking forward to, define that, because I would say Barry is going to be a pretty good one, just because the past 2 years we've been pretty head-to-head, and years prior we have not had the best luck. Hendricks. I would say Hendricks, because we had a very poor experience with them last season in the first round of playoffs. Played in a monsoon, so that wasn't really good. And they come here, and it might be senior night, so I would say that. I would say Hendricks.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
Coming into his third year with the Stormy Petrels women's soccer program, Rob King has been part of a transformation for this program. And there's good expectations for 2024 to be a record-setting kind of year here in Brookhaven. Madison Cruz caught up with Rob King after training this week, and here's their conversation.
Looking back on 2023, what are your big takeaways from that season, and then kind of taking those things that were good or what needs to be fixed up and moving it towards 2024?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing since I came into the program was to try and change the way that things have been done. So we started that right away. we've seen really good progression over the last 2 seasons. And we've had some firsts in the program. So that's always exciting. That helps get the buy-in from players because they can see that the development is working. And we got pretty close last year. You know, we took it all the way to the end of the season, and then we tied the end of season game in the quarterfinals there, and then went out on the penalty shootout. So this year for us, it's about taking that next step. The top of our conference is very good. So Swanee, Centre, probably Rhodes, maybe in that order, are the top 3 in our conference. But the difference from them down to the next ones isn't very much. So for us, it was about recruiting a class with the athleticism, with the soccer IQ, with the competitiveness that can come straight in, and see if we can close that gap and put ourselves among the leaders in the conference.
Well, let's talk about some of the newcomers
Yeah.
to the team. What have they brought to training so far, and what have you noticed from a couple of them?
Yeah, well, we've gone from a squad of sort of low 20s to 31 players now. So automatically, you know, we've got a lot of depth in our team. We brought in 13 new players this year, so it's a big new class. A combination of some transfers, so we were fortunate to pick up a couple of Birmingham Southerns. We're really sad that happened to them, but we wanted to offer them a place to come, and this looked like a good spot for them. So we picked up a couple of Birmingham Southern players. We picked up a Millsaps player as well. And then we also we've got a fantastic MBA program here. So we also picked up Lauren Oliver as an MBA student that can come in, someone that's played and, you know, had a lot of experience at the highest level. So having a mix of some experienced players and then a freshman group that are very athletic, they're very technical, they're used to working really hard, they've come from very competitive club programs, they've been well coached. So we were able to blend those players straight into our program that was already on the way up. So it's moving quite quickly.
So I have to ask, Harlow mentioned when we talked to her, imagine a little cabin trip that you guys do.
Yeah.
How did that start, and kind of getting that idea and seeing the chemistry of the team really form? What has that been like?
Yeah, now I've done that for, I'll show my age here, for the last 25 odd years I've done that sort of trip, because it's, you know, it's one thing to come in and experience that sort of coach on the soccer field relationship, but it's much bigger than that, you know, and it's much bigger than that, especially with females. It is about relationships in there. So it's a matter of trying to get the team together in an environment that they may not be used to. And we do a lot of different team bonding things up there. So we usually have a different theme. This year we sort of played on the Hogwarts thing, and we were Ogleworts, and we had the houses of Ogleworts, and it's a nice way to mix up the team with new players, older players, and we do a lot of chemistry things when we're up there. Then we come down the river together, you know, the next morning, and that's been a really good way to sort of jumpstart the season and let everybody know that, yeah, the soccer is important for us, but the most important thing is the experiences that you'll have together on our team, the things that we value and the things that we stand for. And it seemed to have worked pretty well so far.
My last question for you is, being from Kennesaw State, knowing what career you've had there, starting the program there, moving on to Young Harris, and then doing what you did there, and then coming here and already making a huge statement in your third year here at Oglethorpe. What is it like to really be such a pinnacle point in the development of women's soccer here, just around and kind of coming back and really being this focal point and really having that impact that you have on the game?
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed, you know, each sort of stop in my career has been a little bit different. So I started off in men's soccer and then moved into women's soccer. And have done all the divisions from junior college all the way through to NCAA Division 1, and playing against North Carolinas and Floridas and Florida States and some really big games. But the way that I've sort of gone about what I do hasn't really changed much. It's been that same sort of philosophy and same sort of methods all the way through. We have really high expectations in the program here. So program had suffered a little bit before I came in. They'd gone through COVID and, you know, real sort of uneasy time for them here. So when we came out of that, we decided that we wanted to become a really good soccer program here. So we've laid some foundations in there. We're happy with the progress so far, but we're aiming to be the #1 team in our conference and compete for national championships. It doesn't happen in one hit, but we're going to take more than one hit.
That'll do it for the first edition of the Oglethorpe Outlook here on the SDH Network. The season kicks off for both teams, the men and the women, this weekend. At home for the women, 1 o'clock kickoff. If you can make it out to Brookhaven, come out and support the Stormy Petrels. If you can't, you can watch on the school's website. Madison Cruz will have the call for you there. For the men's side, they will be in the Sonny Carter Invitational over at Emory. First match on Sunday against Belhaven at 1 o'clock. Second match is Monday night, Labor Day night against Emory, two highly thought of teams in D3. We will be on site with pre-match and post-match coverage of that one, the first of two meetings between these two teams this season. Make sure you're following the Soccer Down Here network at Soccer Down Here wherever you get your podcasts, but also on YouTube and on all of your social media platforms. We will have coverage on the Oglethorpe Outlook of Oglethorpe Stormy Petrel soccer all season long in 2024.